Okay, right. So a very good evening, guys. Can you all let me know if y'all can hear me and see a screen? Yes. All good? Nice. So we're going to get started today with the grade 13 syllabus. That is where we start off unit number 7 in the whole theory class. Now, before I get into unit number 7 itself, I want to spend, I would say, the first half an hour to give you all a bit of a plan on what you need to do in the next 10 months. Now, I think as most of you all know, your exam is brought forward, right? You all have your exams most likely in August next year, which earlier most of you all would have expected it to happen somewhere around in October. And given that this year's A-level batch is doing the exam in November, the trend was where it was coming 1 month ahead. So, but they've again brought it back to August itself. I think there is the good and the bad for all of it. Yes, you can pass the message, Lama, today's class. You can share it to any friend you want. It will be open for free, no issue at all. So the fact that it's bought into August, I think it has both the good and the bad side, right? Maybe we'll focus on the good side. The good side is that you don't have to study for long, right? You'll only have to study for the next 10 months. And another good thing is it affects everyone equally. It's not just you who is at a disadvantage, right? Everyone out there who is doing A levels will have to do the exam in August. So all of y'all are equally affected by this. And personally, I feel that's good news for you because trust me, Lamai, the faster you get this done, the easier it is so that you get off with this burden. If not, it just keeps on dragging and dragging. So if the exam is in August, then how are you going to plan out and what are you going to do? And how will our classes work and what can I help you with is the first half an hour. And then we'll get into unit number 7. And there is a quiz also at the end of today's class based on all what we discussed today. So let's get started and let's get going. Now, some of you all who are in the theory and revision classes, you would have got the printed set of tudes. Some of you all would have not yet got it. You will get it very, very soon. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. So I'm starting off with a bit of a small intro on my end before we get into the unit itself. So we're starting off with the grade 13 syllabus. And given that we have 10 months, now I'll start off with a bit of positive news, a bit of, I would say, something that y'all should also target for. Now, given that you have this limited time left, I want you all to make the best use of it and don't just settle to pass this exam. None of you all are here just to now. I'll tell you, you're not too late at all. Even if you're starting today, I definitely think that A is definitely possible, but you can target for much more than just a A. I'll start off with the story of these 3 students from my last batch, right? So you had Induvara, you had my sister Amila, and also Minsadip, who were among the top 10 in the island last year. That is from the 2024 batch. Now, just to break this misconception and to give you all some hope as well, all of these people, Lamai, are just ordinary people like you and me. These are not, I would say, not people who would have, had superpowers to anything, but something that all of them, not just these people, even the people who did pretty well, are the people, Lamai, who have some amount of discipline to get things done. So I think that is one of the most important thing that you need to have. Consistency and being disciplined. Now, it's always nice to, probably today, after today's session, you get a little motivated, you start studying tomorrow. But 2-3 days down the line, again, you've gone back to your normal habits. I don't know what you do, but you've gone back to that. But if you can have, Lamai, consistent work, you're disciplined enough to work even in the days that you don't feel like studying. There are certain days, Lama, you might be tired, right? You might be after class, you might be after school, you're just so exhausted. It's very easy to, let's say, give a excuse. It's very easy to say, no, sir, today I'm tired, sir. Today we had the sports meet, sir. Today this practice, sir. Today we had that, sir. It's very easy to keep on giving excuses and keep on pushing things. Are you going to be that kind of person? Or are you going to be the person who is somehow, no matter what comes, or what happens, you're going to give it your best shot. You're going to start studying. So I want you to be that second type of person. And if you can become that person, I'll guarantee you in this next 10 months, you will be able to turn so much of things around, and your result might not be just kept at an A. You can even target for the ranks out there. And these people are just ordinary people. Trust me, they are. And I'll tell you this even with, for example, my life out there. When I did A levels in 2017, I was among the top 50 in the island as well. I did the normal three subjects. So there was no Z-score advantage, nothing of that sort. I did econ, accounts, and business studies. Was among the top 50. During school, I was a part of so many different things, right? Did all of it. And I personally know how much of time I studied, right? So I usually come home from school, have a good nap. Let's say sometimes at night, maybe spend around an hour or two to study. That's it, I would say. But again, one key thing I would say that I did was I was very attentive in class. So usually when a teacher teaches anything for the first time, maybe in school, maybe even in class, I make sure to pay attention and put that into my head the very first time. That saves me a lot of time later on. Now, even today, Lama, you all will realize when I start unit number seven is not at all connected to the previous units. So even if today is the very first day you are starting A-level classes, you will understand unit 7. There is no connection at all. You're perfectly fine. So if you pay attention properly, well in class, then later when you go to study that area, you don't have to waste a lot of time. If you pay close attention, put that into your head the very first time, let's say within even 15 minutes, you can study the area that we did today in class. So that is, I would say, one trick you should also keep in mind. So it's not about Lamai, the hours of studying. Now, some person, you might be here in class, you might be right now during class, you might be on your phone playing the fool. And then later when you go to study that same area that we did today, you might take 2 hours. While the person who was attentively listening in class might only take 15 minutes to study. So you might come and brag, sir, I studied for 5 hours today, sir, I studied for 6 hours today. But there might be someone else who spent, let's say, half an hour and studied the exact same thing that you did. So that is what you need to do as well. That's how, Lama, you manage your time. Because sometimes you will also realize with different sports, with different clubs and societies that you're a part of, some of you are prefects in school. It's not easy to manage time. So how you manage time is by paying attention properly, putting it into your head the first time. But then I also understand that some of y'all are not very quick learners, right? Some of y'all, take time to grasp things. Now, that is why we always have the recording. So even if you miss the live session, or even if you are a bit of a slow learner, you can always go back to the recording. You can always keep on watching things. So that is one big advice that I will always give. And then, yes, don't forget, you need to be consistent. You can't get this done overnight. Now, people who get, let's say, 3 A's or people who get A-level island ranks aren't people who study the last moment and get things overnight. Consistent small work. Now, just think, Lamai. Now, you might be wondering, okay, sir, if I study for 2 hours today, that doesn't make a big difference. But if you study for 2 hours for the next 10 months, every single day, think of how much of time that is. 2 hours, 10 months is around 300 days, let's say. That is 600 hours of study. That is so much of time of studying now. 600 hours is huge. But what you don't see is that consistent effort. What most of you all think of it, sir, 2 hours today, if I don't study, come on, tomorrow I will study again. But then what happens is you miss out on the big picture. You allocate a certain amount of time. Now, I think broadly, you should be right now, Lama, allocating around at least 3 hours to study for a day. When I say 3 hours to study, that is not to watch recordings, that is not to, let's say, do homework, proper studying. So studying can be doing papers, studying can be going through your tudes, making a short note, it can come in various ways, but at least 3 hours a day. So when I say 3 hours a day, that is roughly around 1 hour per subject. So if you want, you can do all 3 subjects in a day. You can do 2 subjects, or you can even do one subject. That is up to you. That doesn't matter. But roughly around 3 hours a day you need to be spending right now in terms of studying. Now, this is very easy for the people who are private candidates. Now, private candidates, you all don't go to school. So you all have that huge time in the morning that you can use. Now, even for those who go to school and even for those who are a part of different extracurricular activities, even if you maybe, let's say during the weekdays, you have less time to study, catch it up during the weekends. Now, that is where your early mornings, your late at night, all will start coming in. And now it's not easy, right? It's not easy to wake up early morning and study. The moment your alarm rings, you'll be like, you'll always want to snooze. You will not be always motivated to stay up late at night and study. That depends on, again, what kind of person you are also, whether you're a morning or a night person. But putting those effort, Lamai, will pay off at one point. So you need to start now. If you do that, you can also get among all this top island ranks. But remember, an island rank is not everything. Even if you don't get one, that is perfectly fine. It's not the end of life. You're not a failure in life, but target for one, aim for one. It'll definitely take you somewhere in life. And along with that, even if you don't, let's say, get among an island rank, at least, let's say, you can target for a good district rank out there. So this is just the fly with the students who got among the top 10 in the district, different districts. I've had students from Colombo, Gampaha to, all around. I think there is students from around 20 plus districts out of the 24 or 25 districts we have. So there is students from all around the country here in this class. You can get it done. So you can definitely get it done. Just have consistent, disciplined work. There is no superpower. There is no, crazy things that you have to do to get 3 years. Just have that in mind. You will realize it the day you get it. The day you get it, you will realize, look here, I also didn't do anything crazy. I just did the normal thing, but I was consistent in what I do. Now, that is the hardest part for most of them now. It's very hard to stay consistent. It is very hard to stay disciplined. If you can do that, you will get it done. So, having discipline, Lamai, is you being, no matter what happens, let's say, no matter what you have during that day, if you are going to allocate 3 hours to study, you're somehow going to do it, no matter how tired you are, no matter how, bad you're feeling, no matter, let's say, it might be a rainy day today, like very nice day to sleep early, but you will be there sacrificing getting the work done. Maybe early in the morning, let's say when your alarm rings at around 4 o'clock in the morning, right? It's very easy to, sleep, snooze and sleep for, let's say, another 2-3 hours. But waking up when everyone else out there is sleeping and getting the work done, that is discipline, Laman. So that is something that you will have to do on your end. If you can get that done, trust me, you will do pretty good. So with that message in mind, I want to get into what you can do in the next 10 months. So in your next 10 months, Laman, now in terms of timing, you have around 10 months to go, maybe now a little bit less than 10 months also. So you have October to December this year. Right? I'll give you a plan based on all of this. October, December this year, that is 2025. You have 3 months over here. And in 2026, you have Lamai, Jan to July. Your exam is in August now, so August you won't have that much of time. So there is 7 months over here. This is the time that you have left, and this is the time that you have, Lamai, for all the 3 subjects. So for 3 subjects, you have 10 months. If you divide it among, let's say, the 3 subjects, you have roughly around 3 months per subject. Don't worry about all of that. But I'll give you a bit of a plan, Lamai, to get started with. Now, so far, you all know, Lamai, in our A-level syllabus, there are 12 units. The first 6 units is the grade 12 syllabus, so we call it the first year of A-levels. And the second 6 units, that is unit number 7 to unit number 12, is the grade 13 or the second year of A-levels. Now, so far, we have finished, Lamai, the first 6 units. Some of you all were a part of my theory class, some of you all are not, some of you have learned things in school. So what I will want you all to do is, Lamai, do this. In this next 3 months, in terms of econ, your target has to be to study unit number 1 to 6. Just make a broad plan on your end. When I say study unit number 1 to 6, that can mean going through your tute, doing certain questions from that unit. You don't have to memorize the unit number. Don't worry about memorizing. Go through the stuff again. Maybe you can again start with unit number 1 if you've forgotten. Right? Go through the unit again. Right? Go do some papers. Check out some past papers. Try things out. And roughly, I would say, take around 2 weeks per unit. So 2 weeks. So if you take 2 weeks per unit, starting from today, by the end of December, there will be some holidays that you all will have in December, right? Some of you all during the A-level period, you all are at school holidays. So use that extra time as well. By the end of December, be thorough with this first 6 units on your end. I'll tell you how you can catch up as well if you don't have any note or anything, but make that broad plan. And one thing that I will always tell you is, you don't have to be 100% perfect. Now, let's say starting from tomorrow, you decided. Now, tomorrow is the 17th of October. So let's say from the 17th of October to the 31st of October, you decided you're going to study unit 1. You're going to master unit 1. Let's say you don't have to start with unit 1. You can start with any unit. Let's say you're starting with unit 1. So let's say if you have unit 1 to get going, go through your note. If you can't remember things, you might have the recording which you can go back and watch. Do past papers, do some questions. And let's say by the 31st of October, you're not 100% thorough with unit number 1. That is okay. And there might be some small things you're not clear of. There could be some past papers that you would have not been able to do. That is fine. Once that deadline reaches, you finish off unit number 1, you might be around 80% okay. You finish that off, and let's say on the 1st of November, and let's say until 1st of November to around the 14th of November, let's say 2 weeks there, you then move to unit number 2. So have that as a plan, because I'll tell you this. Now, sometimes what happens with certain people, or that normal psychology is, you want to master one unit only and move to the next unit. So then what happens is, sometimes just for unit number 1, you might study unit number 1 for around 2 months. Such a waste of time. Rather than spending 2 months to become 100% okay with unit 1, you spend 2 months to be 80% okay with unit 1, 2, 3, 4. That is much more worth it. And because we will do the syllabus, we will do the units again, Lamai. Then that balanced 20% and all of it will be covered. So don't worry about it. I'm not saying you not master the unit. You will master it later on. But what we do is do as much as you can. Once the deadline is reached, let that go. It's okay to have incomplete work. You don't have to, master this to go to the next part. So that's what I will recommend. Within this period, right, October, December, next 3 months, you study Lama unit number 1 to 6. Along with this, in the live class, now in our class that we are doing right now, we will do Lamai unit number 7 and most likely at least half of unit number 8. So now while you're studying 1 to 6, you can't completely ignore what is happening in class level. So make sure that work is also done. You regularly come to class, you know what is happening, you regularly revise. So that means by the end of this year, that is in the next 3 months, you have studied unit number 1 to 6. And along with that, you're regularly in class studying unit number 7 and 8 with me. So that means out of the 12 units, you have properly studied Lamai. You have properly studied 8 units, or maybe the 8th one we might sometimes not be able to finish, but at least half of it, you're done. But you're done with 8 units out of the 12 units. That is Lamai around 2/3 of your A-level syllabus done. That itself will give you so much of relief. You can use that time then later on even for your other subjects. So I'm not going to give you big targets for next year. That we will plan next year. Because I always am a believer, Lamai, Small targets work. If you have very big targets, that is too hard to achieve. Now, I'll help you break down this target as well. Now, I told you in the next 3 months, you're going to finish off unit number 1 to 6, plus study unit number 7 and 8 along with me in the class. So that is then 2/3 of the syllabus done, 8 units out of 12 units. So if you can do that, break it down, Lama, into smaller parts now. Now, let's say, okay, okay, next 2 weeks, you're going to study unit number 1. But remember, you're going to do that along with all the regular work happening. In the theory class, we'll be doing unit 7. In the revision class, we will have certain other papers. So along with that, Lama, you're doing this also in addition. So what you do is, Lama, make small plans. I think the best way to make small plans is don't overthink anything. Just think about your next day. That's all. Before you go to sleep, and what time do you all usually sleep these days? Can you? What time do you all sleep? 11? 12. Okay, let's say you sleep by around 11. Okay, some of you are sleeping at 3, 2 also. Okay, let's say you sleep on average by, let's say, around 11. Okay. Before you go to sleep, Lamai, 15 minutes before you go to sleep, just plan your next day. Trust me, that helps a lot. Now, Lamai, tomorrow, what do you have? You have an idea tomorrow what you have, right? If you have to go to school, you know that. If you have different classes, you know that. Just plan your tomorrow. Don't overthink. So tomorrow, okay, tomorrow you have school, you have this class, then you roughly know how much of time you might have to study. And then what you do is just plan your next day, Lamai, before you go to sleep. Now, let's say tomorrow you say, okay, in unit number 1, okay, I'm going to, let's say, do 5 years of MCQs. 5 years of MCQs for econ. And let's say, okay, for accounting or something, I'm going to do this part. Make it a realistic plan. Please don't overload, Lamai. That's why I tell you, only plan your next day. Because you can't plan your next week because you don't know what will happen in next week. Right? Sometimes some exam might come. Sometimes some family function will come. You don't know. You just plan your next day. Forget about the rest. Tomorrow, before you go to sleep, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this. That might require you waking up early in the morning tomorrow. That might require you staying up late at night tomorrow. That might even require maybe while you're going to school, you're reading a tuty in the bus. It could require different things like that. But just plan your tomorrow and somehow have that discipline. That is where the discipline consistency comes. To finish off what you planned for tomorrow. It might not be a lot of work, Lamai. Now, let's say for tomorrow, you have planned that, okay, I'm going to do 5 years of MCQs for unit number 1. So unit 1 MCQs, per paper, there must be like 5 MCQs. That means 5 years can 25 MCQs. That's all. You might think that that's very little work. This is not even going to affect me. But that is where I told you, my consistent work. 10 months down the line, when you look back and see, you've done so much of work. Just plan your next day. Don't overplan. The big plans that you all make, Lamai, will fail. Now, some of you all will make big plans for the next 10 months. This week, I am doing this. January, I am studying this. February, I am studying this. I have plans. Those will fail. You're just wasting time making a plan like that. Have an overall target. Overall target is only for the next 3 months, I'm telling you. Overall target is, okay, next 3 months, I'm going to study unit number 1 to 6. In the class, I'm going to do all the work. 7, 8, revision class work also I will do. Have that overall target. You can break that down into a monthly target, break it into a weekly target, break it into a daily target. Focus on your daily target, Lama. That's all you have to worry about. Tomorrow, I will do this. So before going to sleep, have that practice. Trust me, it works. Before you go, because sometimes what happens is, now some of you all might have this habit of, you keep on delaying stuff, right? You keep on procrastinating things. No? Right? Today you will be like, tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow you'll be like, and from day after I'll start. Oh, from 1st of November I will start. You keep on pushing things. You know why? Because you don't know where to start, Lamai. That is why you keep on pushing things. When you have so much of things in your head, and there's so much going on, right? Your head also doesn't function. You don't know where to start. That is why this small plan, just planning your next day, will help. So definitely tomorrow I have to finish this. You need to have that discipline, right? If you're going to finish off the MCQs, maybe even while going to school in the bus, even they do the questions. That is okay, right? Even if you're, let's say, even if you're in the toilet, even come on and do the MCQs. Somehow get tomorrow's work done. Then tomorrow, before you go to sleep, plan your Saturday. Saturday, okay, Saturday is comparatively free for me. Then I will do these things, but make a realistic plan. Now for Saturday, I don't put, let's say, so much of things that you can't do. So maybe Saturday, you might have a family wedding, you might have a function. So based on that, plan your day based on how your day looks like. Don't just overload things now. Then what happens? You get demotivated. That today I couldn't finish my stuff. Now aparadhan. So make a small plan just for your next day. Stick to it. It will work. That's what I want you to do. For those who have not watched recordings, I'll give you a plan. Okay. So then that is that. Is that part clear, Lamai? Just next 3 months? Don't overthink. Have the broad goal. Make a goal for your other subjects as well. Now, econ is not your only subject. No? So for accounting, business, IT, whatever subject that you're doing, just have a basic plan for the next 3 months. And then get that done. So then we'll come into this level. Now we'll come into the syllabus content. What can you do if you're falling behind? Now, for those who have been there in class, you all know, we have completed the first 6 units. Unit number 1 to unit number 6, we have completed this in class. Now, some of you all are a part of my class, some of you all are not. So I'll give you a broad plan for all of you. Don't worry. So then, for those who are on track, right, who have kind of, come to class, you have caught up with recordings if you missed, then Lama, you can follow this plan, right? You study, allocate that and get it done. Now, some of y'all are people, Lama, who have missed certain units. Now, some of y'all were in my class, but never attended the live class. Therefore, now you have so much of recordings that you have piled up. Some of y'all, maybe right now, only y'all are studying, so you have not even covered it. So first, I'll tackle the different people. So different people at different levels. For those who are on track, so far you're on track, you follow what I told you before. You break the units, study each parts, finish that off. Those who are a little behind, right? Let's say you're someone who comes to my class, you're a little behind. Let's say you have around, let's say 5-6 recordings and stuff that you have missed that you want to watch. What I will recommend is, Lamai, the easiest thing that I will do is take one full day. Let's say select a day, maybe even if you're someone who is going to school. Let's say you realize in school you don't have that much of work that day. Stay at home that day. Wake up early in the morning. Let's say wake up at around 4 o'clock. Until, let's say, night, allocate one full day and catch up all those small miswork. If you have a little that you're falling behind, when I say little that you're falling behind, let's say around 5-6 recordings, or let's say 1 unit you have not figured out. Do that rather than, podda doing that for 2 weeks, rather than dragging that. Take one full day, finish it off. That's what I will recommend for those who are a little behind. Let's say some of you all, now we finished unit number 6 a couple of weeks. Some of those parts you have not gone through. Anna, do that. Then for those who are a lot behind, now let's say at least 2-3 units you have not studied, or maybe you have completely missed even unit number 1 to 6. If that is your story, still you can catch up. So what you can do now, any of y'all, if y'all are falling behind, since all our classes happen online, I record it and upload it on my website as well. So you can purchase those recordings and tunes. So usually for those who purchase recordings, we give you the main tune. I don't give you like the whole set with the past paper and all, because it's given a little bit of a discount now. So what you can do is you can purchase that main tune. You get the recordings as well. You can cover it up on your own pace. Roughly, I would say 1 unit, roughly. Yeah? Now, some units will have a little bit more. Some units might have a little bit less. 1 unit will have, Lamai, around 15 hours of recordings. It's broken into like 2-hour sessions. 1 unit will have around 15 hours of recordings. Initial, maybe unit number 1 and 2 might be a little long. 5 and 6 can be shorter, but that's something average. 1 unit has around 15 hours. So then even if you allocate, you can even increase the speed of these recordings and watch, right, to 1.5 times. So even if you allocate, let's say around 2 hours, now these are the people who are completely behind, who have, let's say you have not even studied 1 to 6. So then let's say you get hold of these recordings and the tunes. If you allocate around 2 to 3 hours a day, let's say you allocate 3 hours a day to watch recordings and get the work done. So for you, that itself can be studying then. And then if you can allocate around 2 to 3 hours a day, in 1 week, you can finish a unit, no? In 1 week. So along with, now, if you have missed out, while watching the recording itself, you have to study that. Don't just quickly watch the recordings. Later, I will study in a way. While the others people are studying, while the other people are following this plan and they are studying, what you will do is, while watching the recording itself, you will study. So you will listen attentively, put that into your head, right? That is what you will do. So that's what I will recommend, Lamai, for those who are, if anyone has a different situation thing, you can always drop me a text on WhatsApp, Lama. I will give you maybe like a customized kind of a plan for you. So even for some people, Lamai, who are doing A-levels in 1 year, let's say today is where you are starting. So if you're starting A-levels today, get this, Lamai. Unit 1 to unit number 6, you get the recordings and the tunes. Everything is systematically there. Until A-levels, you can watch unlimited times. You allocate around 2-3 hours daily to catch up on unit number 1 to 6. So then by around 2 months, 2.5 months, you have finished all of that. Grade 12 is done. Regularly, from today onwards, today we are starting unit 7. From today onwards, you will catch up unit 7. Unit 7 is not at all connected, Lamai, to the previous units. So unit 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the ones that you may have in the future are not connected to previous units. So you can parallelly study unit number 1 to 6. Along with that, in the live sessions, Lama, you can cover 7 to 12. No problem at all. It will work. So the fact that you are starting today, can Lama, either you're trying to do A-levels in a year, or you have been, nicely having some fun in the last year. So now you have to work a little hard, I think. If you really want a good result, you'll have to work a little hard and get things done. How do you deal with sleepiness? That's, again, I think a problem that I've also had. I think for me, I can't study at night. I'm not a person who can wake up at night. Some of y'all, I saw when I asked you what time you sleep, you told me 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I can stay up until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but I can't study until that time. Now, after I do the class for you, Lamai, I am just exhausted and done. Now, I went to work today. I came back home. Now I'm doing your class by around 10 o'clock. I'm just exhausted. I watch some Netflix and have dinner. And then by around 11, 11:30, I'm like, I just stay on my phone until by 12 o'clock, I've fallen asleep. I just can't do anything. I am productive in the morning. So you all have to figure out, Lama, what time are you productive in? Even during A-levels, days that I wanted to study, I would have woke up, let's say at around 2, not 2, I would say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would have studied. So you can do the past papers. Yes, past papers, Lama, the recordings, I'll talk about all of those are there. I know this thing, you can get that. So that is the overall plan, Lama. There are small things. There are so many questions on the chat box as well. I'll come into all of those individual parts also very, very soon. So roughly, Lama, I think in terms of hours to sleep, around 6 hours should be decent enough. You should be able to manage. I think 8 hours of sleep is a little too luxury. 6 hours is okay. If you're falling asleep every night, be a little active as well, right? Maybe go for a walk, run around a little, right? Maybe if you on the weekends, I go play a sport, right? Maybe play badminton, hari, beach එක දුවන්න hari, do some, stay physically active also. And also the food that you eat, don't eat all this junk food. This junk food that you eat, actually makes you very lazy, makes you very lethargic. Eat proper, nutritious food that is there. Okay. How do you find the time that you're productive in, Experiment and see. So stay up tonight and see whether you can study. If it is working, that means night is your productive time. Or maybe next day, keep an alarm early in the morning at around 4 o'clock and see, can you wake up and study? Sometimes some people might not be productive even at night night or morning. So you might be productive during the daytime. So that is up to you to figure that out, because I can't tell you what time to study. That is based on you. Yes, sugar is dangerous. So there are so much of questions that I've got, Lama, in the chat box. I can't individually answer all of them. I will come to it very soon, probably after class. We'll discuss each of those. Right? That's the basic thing. This is to cover up any previous ones. I will recommend Lama, if you know the basic theory, do past papers. Get into past papers, and all the past papers, Lama, 2011 to 2024, I have discussed, and it is there on my YouTube channel, Lama. So I have freely uploaded everything. So while doing past papers, if you get stuck, you can watch. I will do a free past paper class for you also next year. So next year, I will start a past paper class freely every week for around 6 months. I will teach you. So there also, we will cover all the past papers. You can also do it on your own. What I did for the previous batch is there on YouTube. For your past papers, don't change them. In the 2015 question is the 2015 question. How I explain it for the last batch only, I will explain it to you all also. So you can get started, but I will also do it on your end. Once you're done with the past papers, after that, you can do the other papers, these different school papers, provincial papers. Don't prioritize that, because these different school papers, provincial papers have so much of mistakes. So much of mistakes can, even the English is so bad. You will see so much of new words also. When they try to translate from a Sinhala or a Tamil paper into English, they come up with so many new words. So many people come and ask me, sir, what is this, sir? So what is this, sir? Right? Sometimes I also have not heard. Then I realize, probably when translating, they would have made some mistakes. So even these FWC papers, all of it, that will be your last priority after doing the past papers. So it's very annoying when you do papers there, because some of those papers now you don't even have a marking scheme. So no point. The whole point of even doing past papers is not about just doing it. You need to figure out where you go wrong. It's not about, doing 1,000 MCQs and then seeing, right or wrong, I got 800 right. Never. You do a bit of questions. See where you go right, see where you go wrong. Why did you go wrong? Figure that out. You move to the next. So I'll give you a strategy for those also. We'll discuss that later on. Okay. If you're done with the past papers, then we will definitely do model papers and all starting from March. Don't worry. Okay. So I will keep this there. Stuff to refer, all of it we'll talk about. There is, if I individually missed one of your questions on the chat box, I will come to it, because there are so many people texting. I will come to it. Okay. Right. Then in terms of the grade 13 units, now I'll tell you all this. The grade 13 units, are very interesting than the grade 12 units. Now, grade 12 units, the demand, supply, taxes, that equilibrium, production cost, we had national income accounting. They were very more into theory. It was a little difficult for you to connect that to the real world. But I'll tell you, grade 13 units, a majority of it, maybe not today's class, but a majority of the grade 13 units, at least 80 to 90% of it, you can connect it with the real world. You will be able to understand what is actually happening in the world. And you will be able to practically understand how this story actually works. So given that I also work for econ firm, most of you all know that, right? I work as an economist full-time. So I'll be able to bring you that real world examples while I teach. So for example, the economic crisis out there, why did the exchange rate depreciate? Why did prices go so high? Why is inflation now negative in certain months? And what is the government doing with their taxes and spending, right? What is this IMF program all about? It's very practical. If you practically learn it, this grade 13 syllabus becomes the most interesting. You will enjoy it better than the grade 12 units. But it is a little harder than the grade 12. Now, grade 12, you have this Baba type of questions. No? For example, unit number 1, economic goods, non-economic goods, microeconomics, macroeconomics are very simple concepts. In the 13 syllabus, you might not have that very babyish stuff, but it's not hard. It's a little harder than grade 12, very much more practical and interesting than grade 12. You can manage. So we're starting unit number 7 today. I'll give you my overall plan in terms of classes. I usually like to be very organized and planned. So how will I get this done? On unit number 7, we're starting today. I will finish. Unit number 7 is like the biggest unit in your syllabus. I will finish this by end of November. So end of November this year, I will finish. Unit number 8 is not as long as unit number 7, but it is considerably product long. So I will I would love to finish it off by December, but then December usually last week and all, I give you all a holiday as well. But I will see if I can have some extra classes and all of it. I will finish this off in December. So December, I will finish off unit number 8. If not, a part of it we will do in Jan. That is okay. Then for unit number 9 is actually small now. So unit number 9, I actually need around maximum 12 hours to teach. So usually what I do for unit number 9 is I take 10 to 12 hours, not even 12, right? 10 to 12 hours. What I do is I take around 2 full day classes. When I say full day classes, I don't do 12-hour classes. Let's say 2 5-hour classes. Let's say I start at around 8 in the morning until around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll do 2 classes like that. And I will finish off unit number 9. So by the end of probably end of Jan, we will be done with unit 9. So unit 8 will try to finish off by December. If we can't, small part of it will do in Jan, no problem. By the end of Jan, you're done with unit 9 as well. And then unit number 10 is again a little long. We will do this in the entire month of Feb. So February, we'll do unit number 10. There will be some extra classes also, but we will get it done. Then 11 and 12 Lama is actually not that big. I have 11 and 12. Usually we don't do it for essay questions. We only target it for MCQs. So there is around, let's say 10 hours of content. Again, I will take 2 classes, 2 long classes, extra classes, and I will finish off. So by the end of February, I will finish off Lamai all the grade 13 units. So when I say end of February here, from today, that is in the next 5 months, I am finishing off the grade 13 units. Along with that, you all are also studying the grade 12 units. Grade 13 units, Lamai, study it with me. Right? With me, you study. You don't have to memorize and worry too much about it or in Lamai. With me, you keep on studying. So when I do a certain part in class, after that class, go and, spend around 1 hour within the week and go through that. That's all. So then 7, 8, 9, 10, and finally 11 and 12 will be done by end Feb. And that means your exam is in August. By February itself, you're done with the syllabus. Theory class is done. Along with this, we also have revision Lamai. Revision also, I will not go into individual plans because this is not the revision class. So in the revision class also, we do papers. Now, revision class, Lamai, this month, we are starting unit number 5, National Income Account. So for those who come to revision class, you all know how things work. So for unit number 5, did you all get your tutes, Lamai? Was it okay? Yes, the people who got the tutes. Others, you all will get soon, Lamai. Were the things there, the main short note, all the stuff would have been there. Fine. Okay. So for unit number 5, Lama, others you all will get very, very soon. Okay. Unit number 5 itself, Lama, you have around 10 papers. So these are a mix of model papers. Some are a little bit small papers. Some of it is you have past papers. All of it combined, you have around 10 papers. Yes, there was a F1 file. We just did 1 class Lamai for unit number 5. That's just a recap. So you've not really missed anything. You can join from this month onwards. And even in revision. So the whole plan for revision is, again, I will finish revision also by end of Feb. So when I'm saying Lamai, I am finishing revision by end of Feb, you have to realize that is a lot of work to do. Unit 7 Lamai, I don't have a unit test. I'll let you know why. Okay. So by end of Feb, I will finish this as well. So that means by the end of February, in the next 5 months, there is so much of work to do. You're done with unit number 1 to 12 in theory. You're done with unit number 1 to 12 in revision as well. So you have learned theory. You have done 100 odd papers in revision. So all of that is done. Revision paper 5 in the 19th take-home paper. There is no past paper question. There is no 19th take-home paper, right? Is there a 19th take-home paper? I can't remember the numbers. I'll check. Right? I'll check with my what is missing. I think it goes as revision. There are three focus areas, right? Focus area, I think 16, 17, 18. Who is the 19? For those, I think unit 5, I only broke it in three parts. So there are three focus areas. There are three past paper tunes. Maybe take home papers, there are four. Okay, that's how it would have been structured. We'll talk about that in the revision class. Right? Yeah, I think take home papers, there are four, 15, 16, 17, 18, I think 16 to 19, just that. So that will finish your syllabus twice. Theory will be done, revision will be done. And once that is done, we will have what? We will have a fast track program starting from March. So in March, in the fast track program, what we do now is we do the most difficult areas of each unit. We do the toughest papers out there and we get that done. And then once the fast track is done, again in the fast track also, I will do unit number 1 to 12. And then we will do the mock exam series. So fast track also, I will cover the syllabus. In the mock exam series also, we cover the syllabus. We will also do a past paper class. I told you I'll do a free one for you. There also, I will cover the syllabus. So around 5 times, you will cover off the entire syllabus. So don't worry about the big long term, what I'm doing next year. For now, just focus on this next 5 months. In this next 5 months, we will finish theory and revision. Your focus is to get that done. So make sure, Lama, you regularly attend the live class. By any chance, if you miss the live class, recording is there. Taggala watch and catch up. Please don't pile up the recordings. If you pile up the recordings, Lamai, it will get difficult. You won't have time to watch. The best shot is come to the live class while I teach itself, understand, put it into your head, done. You miss it, at least the next day, within 24 hours, I'll put the recording. You can watch. Don't pile up recordings. I will watch later. Kiela. You won't have Lama because there is, and especially, I'll tell you this, given that your exam is brought to August, so many other teachers will struggle a lot. Now, I anyway finish my syllabus early. So for me, it's not a big issue, right? I will finish off by Feb, but I will also have a few extra classes. But you will realize so many other teachers, right? Some teachers, they drag the theory until 1 month before the A-level paper. Now, 3 months, when it comes fast forward, when it comes front, they will have so much of extra classes, so much of things out there. So that means you have to attend. That means all the teachers, all what they did in, let's say, in the A-level year. Now this year, the A-levels is in November. No? So Jan to October, you had 10 months. What they are doing in 10 months, they will try to do it in 7 months. So there will be so much of extra class. And last moment, you will be pressurized. You won't have time, Lamai, to watch recordings and have fun. And at that point, no. So please don't accumulate recordings. Don't catch up. As soon as possible, watch and finish it off. That's what I will recommend. Come to the live class. If you miss, soon watch and finish it off. Don't pile up, and especially make use of this holiday period that you're getting. Like most of you all might have holidays in November when the A-level batch is doing exams. Some of you all might have holidays in, do you all have a holiday in December as well? The people who have A-level holidays in November. Again, December is also, there are holidays, 2 weeks. That's a lot of weeks in Lamai. So just think, you have one entire month in November and another 2 weeks in December. That is 6 weeks of holidays. And for those who have it. So think of how much of work you can do. So don't keep work the last moment. Yes, have fun during holidays. That is fine. But catch up as much as you can. Finish off studying as much as you can. Trust me, next year will be hectic. Now, so far, you would have not had a lot of extra classes and all. You know why? Why? Why didn't you have so much of extra classes and full day classes and all of that? Why haven't you not had that? Because so far, all of that is happening for the 2025 batch. Right. Now, imagine once that batch is done, they are done in another 2 weeks. So all the teachers will now start focusing on you. So you will have so much of extra classes, so much of work to do. So please don't wait until the last moment to get that work done. That's all that I'm telling you. So by Feb, we will finish theory and revision. All 12 will be done. Please regularly get the work done. It will be hard. It won't be easy. Right? Finishing off 100 papers in the revision class, Lama, is not easy. So now starting from unit number 5. Now, so far, unit number 4, when I come, we would have done around 40 papers, 1 to 4. So, roughly, I don't know the exact count, but roughly there. So, 5 to 12, there is another 60 odd papers in the revision class left. 60 odd papers in how many days? You're going to do 60 odd papers in the next 5 months. 5 months is 150 days. So, in roughly around 150 days, you have 60 papers to do. That is one paper every 2 to 3 days that you have to do. That is not easy. That's a lot of work that you need to do. So you have the revision paper, you have the take-home paper, you have the past paper, so much of things to do. But it's hard, but it will be worth it. So you need to get that done. If you are struggling with some past recordings, what I will recommend is take one full day, finish off as soon as you can. Okay. Then this is how your mind is right now. Right now, when I'm telling you all of this, you have so much of things. Now he's talking about econ, but I have accounting also. I have this also. I know that's how your mind is right now. And that is why I told you before, half an hour before, don't overthink it. Just plan your next day. That's it. That's all that you have to do. The moment you do this, all that confusion in your mind goes up. Because what happens then when your mind is too confused? Have you all realized when you have so much of work to do, you end up getting nothing done? Have you all realized that? You have so much of work to do, you end up after that, you end up going and sleeping. Yeah, happens. That is when there is so much in your head, your mind can't process it. So that is why I'm telling you, don't worry about everything that is there. What you do is just focus on your next day. Get that done. It might not be a lot of work, but looking back, you will realize that is a lot of work that you have done. Just focus on. So today, before you go to sleep, plan your tomorrow. That's all. Don't worry about what you're going to do next week and all of that. Just plan your tomorrow. That's it. Make a realistic plan. Have the discipline. Stick to it. Get it done. 150 days later, or let's say now we have 10 months, no, 300 days later, when you come back and realize that is so much of work that you trust me, it will work. You have to get the work done. I can't come and keep an alarm and wake you up in the morning or keep you up at night. I can't hold your hand and do papers for you. You have to do it for yourself. Okay. Then the class schedule is clear now. Most of you all know the class schedule. So this is the live class schedule, but even if you miss the live class, the recording is there. You can always catch up. So theory we do on Thursday night. Revision we do on Tuesday night. So Thursday night, 7 to 10. Revision is Tuesday night, 7 to 10. The fees separately is 3,000 for theory, 3,200 for revision. If you're coming for both, there is a discount. You can pay a 5,500. Okay. I'm not focused too much. Don't worry. All the recordings are there. So even if you miss a live session, you can always, you can catch up. But again, I'm telling you, that doesn't mean you miss all the live classes and try to catch up everything at the end. You won't have time. Let's say today's live class you miss, within 24 hours, I usually add the recording. So let's say you miss on Thursday, by Saturday or Sunday, watch and finish. You should know what I am doing in class. You have to stay on track. There are some fellows who pay the fees. I never see these fellows in class. I usually can see the names who are there. Never in class. I go and check the website and see have they logged in and watched the recording. They have not done that. But every month on time, they pay the fees. They don't get removed from the group also. Before the 10th, they pay the fees. They collect the tutes. I don't know what they're doing. They just have the tute with them. They think if they have the tute, they can get a A. That won't work. Econ is not a subject. You can just study a tute and get an A. You'll logically understand things. So make sure you come to class. Worst case, if you miss the class, recording is there. Don't worry. You can cover it up. And I'll tell you this, Lamai. I'll just tell you this stat, right? In my 2025 batch, right now, this is not your batch, the batch before. In my 25 batch now, right now there is around 570 odd people, but I have, I only wanted 500, but still that's a little exceeded. But going back, I'll tell you this. In my regular classes, I remember when I was finishing off the syllabus, there was around 300 people. When I was doing, let's say, start of this year, let's say, there was around 300. Those are the people who regularly come. But do you also know there is Lamai who don't come to my regular class, but who cover things up with recordings, who miss a lot of things. Later on, they come to catch up recordings. There is at least around 700 people who do that. While other people are regularly coming to class and getting things done, people who have, missed a lot of things, who want to catch up on previous stuff. Once I have finished theory, then now they have no theory class to go to. So then there is so much of people covering up. There is so much who does that. So recordings also work, Lamai. Right? Website it did crash at one point also after so much of usage, but I've kind of managed it now. But there is so much of people who cover it up that way also. I don't care which way you cover it up. You have to cover it up. And even I'll give you the example of Lamai. Last year's, I think, Island second, right? Induvaru. I've never seen him in my live class. But for a fact, I know that he watches the recording and he catches up. And even in the mock exam series when I did, I never see him during the discussion. But every single paper on time, he did submit. So that's discipline, Lamai. You might sometimes have something during that live class time. The platform is there. The technology is there. So you need to have the discipline to get your work. That is up to you. It's easy to give excuses. It's easy to say today is hard, sir. I don't understand this, sir. Numbers don't run, sir. Sir, graphs are difficult for me, sir. You this unit, I don't get it, sir. I missed this in school, sir. It's easy to be that crowd who gives excuses, but you don't have to be that crowd. No matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it will be, you need to be the crowd that gets the work. Have that in mind. So I'll end with this quote. No pain, no gain. Right? So things will be difficult. You will have to wake up early in the morning, will have to stay up late at night. You might have to sacrifice so much of things, your time in your phone, your social media activeness, or your the fun you have with your friends. You might have to sacrifice certain things, but all of it will be worth it at the end. So with that, I took half an hour more than what I would have expected. So I'm not having a lot of questions. We'll take up any questions at the end. With that, I will finish off the initial intro, initial plan that you have. First, to end up with, can you all get the work done? Or will you all get the work done in the next 10 months? Can we plan it off? You make your own plan. Stick to a small daily routine. Get the work. That's up to you. Okay? Right. Got the tough? No? Perfect. Okay, so shall we take a small break then? Since there is so much of intro and all of it. Right? Walk around, think about all what I said. And then Lama will take a small, let's say, 7-minute break. And we'll come into unit number 7, money and banking, where we start the grade 13 syllabus. So take a 6-minute break now until 8:10. Take a break and come. The initial part is not that hard, but something that you can easily get through. Any questions, Nama, I will take it after class. Take a break.